Que pasa, cabrón? If you want to start averaging 10 matches per day and actually securing some dates from Tinder, well, then you just need to go ahead and update your profile. Now, I never used to use dating apps, but all that changed when I went on this trip with my friends. It was around, I think, 2021, 2022, I want to say. I wasn't exactly completely out of shape. I had some muscle in my frame, but there was some fat covering it up. And I wasn't as in shape as I was like a year or two ago. And I wasn't as attractive, but we were on this trip. It was a fellas trip and we were all like partying, having a good time. And they kind of convinced me like, while we're down here, go ahead and get Tinder and like see what kind of bitches you can find. So we did. We took some pictures or used some of the photos that I had and, created our profile. They helped me when your friend group, the friend group always has to help craft the message to the dude's crush or whatever, or make this profile and stuff. When it comes to women, the fellas are always down to help out, and we all locked in and made this profile. They helped me out with it, and we did what we thought we needed to do. And I ended up getting some matches. As when you first download it, it kind of boosts your profile so it's seen more. And I matched with some bots probably, but I also matched with some real people. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to satisfy my ego, because I had lower expectations. I was kind of insecure, and I thought nothing was going to come of it. So my ego was kind of filled, and there was this girl in there. I was like, guys, check this out, blah, blah, blah. We looked at her profile, we analyzed it. I was like, guys, she had, I think it was something like, pool or billiards or whatever you want to call it. She had something on that. So I think I told them let's make a pun out of this. And we all tried, and I came up with something pretty shit or whatever. But at the time I thought it was good. I thought it was hilarious. Thought it was perfect, so clever. And she's going to love me now. She's going to think I got good game, blah, blah, blah. I went to go look at the profile again, see if she read the message, blah, blah, blah. The profile wasn't even there. The messages weren't. I was like, what the hell is going on? I kept refreshing my thing. I was like, why isn't she showing up? I just sent this message. I wonder if she's going to see it. What happened? My friends all gave me, they all kind of looked at me because they knew what had happened. She just unmatched with me. It was that simple. There was no problem with the app or anything like that. She had just unmatched with me. The shit I said was so corny and so bad that, she just took it off. And I wasn't really averaging that many, so I wasn't really averaging that many likes, so it wasn't like I was getting I wasn't getting that many likes, so I couldn't get that many matches either. So all that started to change when I implemented a few new methods, as well as just improved myself overall. So a couple years later, I started averaging like crazy. It was absolutely insane, the difference, because when I re-downloaded it, I was like, oh man, this is just gonna happen again, blah, blah, blah. But I improved myself so much and optimized my profile perfectly, so that I started at it was literally an insane difference. I didn't believe it, because I've always heard about the guys that get 10, 20, even way more matches than that per day. And I just never believed it. I was kind of believing all those black pillars that oh, the only guys that do that are guys from the US that go to somewhere like Southeast Asia or something like that. That's the only way you're going to get matches, blah, blah, blah. But I started seeing this result for myself. I thought it was absolutely insane. So I want to share with you today exactly what I did in order to, optimize my profile. So the first thing that you need to do is take better photos. And by that, I don't mean just going out and taking hiring a professional photographer and taking that, because you don't even need that. You need to just be able to show that you fuck, that you are the kind of guy that she wants to be with. That's all you need to do with the photos, because you can take them with your iPhone. That's all my photos were, actually, is what were taken with my iPhone, and the results speak for themselves. It was absolutely insane. And these are going to be photos photos of your physique, and basically just that, different photos of your physique, or you just looking good. Mainly your physique, because you want to show that off, but not your typical gym pictures. You don't want just some bro pic in the gym flexing in the mirror like that, because that's not sexy. You need to think of what's going to be sexy, kind of like have you ever seen guys post thirst traps on Instagram? Those are the kind of pictures that you need on your profile, because you're up there, you're up against a ton of dudes. You're just just some profile. You're not a person. You're just a bunch of pictures. So if she's keep swiping, you need to be a guy that makes her stop and go, whoa, 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 what's that? What's this good looking guy doing right here? And she actually needs to look at your profile from that. So you're going to accomplish this by taking not gym pics, not professional pictures, but sexy thirst trap kind of pictures. And it'll also be very beneficial if you can get some photos showing off some pre-selection. Maybe you're doing something cool with some high value friends. You're I don't know, on a boat or something, y'all doing something crazy, something wild, where you're around a bunch of friends, maybe, especially if you can show like you have some friends that are women, if you can show that you hang out around like other beautiful women and stuff like that, and that's just going to add pre-selection and just make it 10 times more likely for you to get a match or at least a like from that, you know. So if you can take photos like that as well, because I promise you, this is a cold hard truth, women do not care about your hobbies, especially on dating apps. Like, if I know, as bad as you want to post like, oh, you hitting the bag and after MMA class or something like that, post a picture like that, only guys like think that's cool. Or like, again, like the gym pictures, like you flexing in the mirror, showing off your muscles, or you hitting a new PR on the deadlift or bench press or whatever. Women do not give a shit about that. That's not sexy. Like, the reason they're on these apps is because they want to like find somebody that they think is sexy. They do not give a fuck about how many stripes you have on your belt in jiu-jitsu, or like, just stop posting pictures like that. Take all those pictures down. A lot of guys think that they need to have like a ton of pictures, but that's not really the case. You just need to have like, it's quality over quantity in terms of this. As long as you have more than one, like, it's just a matter of quality of the photos. If you're not attractive enough, or you don't have like a good enough physique to really take the kind of pictures that like are just gonna be sexier, then you just need to looks max and fix your look in general. This is not a shallow thing, because first off, you're on a dating app. Like, they're literally only judging you based off your appearance. Like, that's what everybody's doing on there. That's what you're doing to them on there as well. And it's not shallow in the first place, because like, that's the first thing that you notice about somebody. How is it shallow? Like, you're not going to say somebody going to the gym to get healthy and get in shape is shallow because, oh, they want to look good, you know? Like, you just want to look good. Like, you just want to be like the kind of guy that other people are attracted to. Like we all have an ego, and we all need to, like, you know, get that ego satisfied sometimes. So that's going to be the way to do it, is like, make yourself more of an attractive person, improve yourself, and like, just do anything you can to improve yourself. And looks magazine is going to like improve your life as a whole, because not only are you going to like look good and stuff, like look good without a shirt, like have a nice physique, but you're going to be, like I said, healthier and stuff, and you're going to be using, like, doing better, healthier habits in your life in order to look smack, like in order to get your jawline, in order to get your like everything right, in order to get tan or whatever. You're just going to be doing better habits in general, so it's just going to improve your life all around. If you don't know where to start, I have a course for it. It's a great tool to use in order to look smack and improve yourself. I also include some bonus modules that teaches you more advanced techniques for like Tinder and social media and stuff like that. So go ahead and check that out, link in the description below. So once you combine those two things, like, you've already looked smacks, like you got a pretty decent physique, pretty decent jawline, you look pretty good wardrobe, whatever, then you start taking better photos, like, you know, like you're starting to portray like you can be that kind of fuckboy Chad kind of alpha character, and you start getting these photos and you got your profile started with the photos, you know, that's when you can start implementing the most important part of this, and that's going to be the water bottle theory. Now, you've probably seen those memes where it's like, oh, this is flirting versus sexual harassment, when it's like the guys are saying the same thing. It's just one is attractive, one is ugly. This is kind of what it essentially boils down to. This is because the better you look, the more girls are willing to give you a chance when you fuck up and you don't have the best game. Because if you look good and you have shitty game, they'll give you more chances, versus if you're kind of ugly or average looking, then you have to have better game. You have to be on top of it, like 24/7, be more charismatic and stuff. This is why looks maxing is going to be absolutely essential if you want to build like a really aesthetic and attractive profile, is because that's going to be like, that's basically what they're judging it off of. And then not only that, but you're like, it's kind of like a video game. Like, you get more lives, you get more chances whenever, you know, you fuck up and say something stupid. Yeah, I don't know, maybe you just matched with like a girl you think is really pretty, you get nervous and you send her something like stupid and kind of unfunny and unattractive, because most guys are really terrible at texting. Like, as soon as they match with a girl, they'll be like, hey, you're so beautiful, or like they'll try to make a rhyme with her name or some stupid shit, like, hey Olivia, I wouldn't be so bad if I lived with you. Just something corny like that. Or they'll actually go through the girl's profile and look at the picture and actually like comment on something that's in the picture. Like, maybe they had like a poster from some artist they listen to in the background, like, oh, do you listen to this song? I love that artist, blah blah blah. And then they wonder why they don't get a response. Like, you might, no matter what dating advice that you've heard on the internet, it's probably terrible, because most guys think that's like good game. Like, they're like, what? I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Compliment the girl, like actually take an interest in her and like see what she likes, and, you know, have a conversation about that. She's doing that with every single other guy on the internet. That's what you need to understand. Like, you were just like a small speck in the grand scheme of things, because every guy is having that exact same conversation with her, and she might even have like a really good conversation with the guy, and then she just never meets up with him, stops texting him, blah, blah, blah. Because the guy that she's actually hanging out with, the guy that she's meeting in the back seat, he's not even doing any of that. You know, this was a big problem for me, because once I was able to start getting matches, I wasn't able to take it anywhere, because like I was just doing this like kind of average dating advice and texting him like, oh, this is so cool that you have this in your picture, blah, 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 and like getting real conversations. And then nothing would happen of it. I wouldn't meet up with them, I wouldn't go on any dates, nothing. It wasn't until I started like changing and sending like these 2-word responses, not taking a while to respond and stuff, that I actually started getting some results. When I say take a while to respond, I don't mean like playing this game like, oh, she texted me back in 5 minutes, I'll text her back in 10, blah, 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 just doubling it. I mean like you're genuinely busy doing stuff with your life that you don't have time to like be on your phone, especially like dating apps and stuff. Regular text messages and stuff, sometimes it'll take a couple of hours just because I'm busy. But like dating apps, it should be even longer just because you don't actually like check it that often. Like, because again, you have that pre-selection, you have stuff going on, genuinely have stuff going on in your life. So you, like, they're not that important to you, because you need to have the same mindset. Like, that's a big problem, is like you're putting these women on a pedestal on these dating apps, but you need to just like think about it like they're just a profile. They're not even a human being until that you meet them in person. Until then, they are just a profile. They're just the internet. Like they're not even a real person. So you should not value your conversation with them yet until you meet them in person. And this is why I call it the water bottle theory, because once I started implementing this, I actually started getting results. And what I did was I stopped caring so much and started treating them like they were just a profile. They weren't like an actual human being. So at a first message, like I would just have like a first copy and paste kind of message that I would send. And literally the first thing I would say is water bottle. It doesn't matter what you say. And this goes back into like the whole like flirting versus sexual harassment thing. If you look better, like you can just get away with saying more. So you need to, again, that's why it's so vitally important that you keep looks maxing and stuff. But so the better you look, the more you can say without like deterring her, or, like scaring her off. So the first message that I would send was just water bottle. It was simple. It wasn't like too crazy. It wasn't like a risky text. It was just something random. And most girls they'd respond and they'd be like, what do you mean? And it was like, boom, now you're in. Like, they matched with you, so you know they're interested. You sent them a random message that doesn't even mean anything, and they responded, so you know like they're of higher interest, so you can actually start pursuing this. And this is where you start laying down some game. And again, it's not going to be like game like, oh, you're so beautiful, blah blah blah, or oh, like, I love that band too, like, blah, 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 let's listen to their music together, blah. That's some pussy shit right there. You just need to have, like, better game. Maybe joke around, like, say some wild stuff, because it's not even, like, you're talking to a real person. You're not talking to a real person. You're talking to a computer. That's kind of attitude, the kind of aura that you need to bring to it, and that's how you start seeing some results. You also need to understand that not every girl you match with is going to be interested, like really interested in you like that. They're not going to think the stuff that you say is funny. So you just need to be more authentic to yourself, because there's going to be some girls that just genuinely just don't like you no matter how good you look. They're not going to sleep with you no matter how good you look. So you just need to be okay with that. And so even if you match with some girl, you just need to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to be myself, and I'm just going to like send these risky texts or whatever, and actually like, you know, draw it out in these like 1 to 2 word texts. But I don't really care if it goes anywhere, because I'm just being myself. Because you're realistically going to meet with like 1 out of 100 people that you match with on Tinder. So it's pretty low. It might even be like a higher statistic than that. Don't be too obsessed with like meeting up with every single girl on there, or like get too discouraged when one girl just doesn't want to meet up, because you're not going to meet up with that many, to be honest. Oh, and the last thing about your profile is that like your bio really doesn't matter, because this is the water bottle theory. But like if you're tall, you know, go ahead and put your height in there, and maybe like put your city or whatever. Like if you live in LA, just put LA on there, 6'3" or something, and then, you know, call it a day. Or you can put like, if you're not that tall or something, you can put like a joke like cult leader or something like that. That's all you really need to do. Bio doesn't really matter, again, because it's just, you know, the water bottle theory. The better you look, the less you have to do, right? So also, bonus tip, don't do that whole, like, in terms of the algorithm, because this is going to fuck up your algorithm, don't do that whole Running Man thing where you just swipe on every single girl. Because not only, like, when you get a match and you go on there and it's the fucking whale of a human being, the absolute atrocity of the earth that you didn't even want to match with in the first place, you're going to be pissed when you see that. But it's going to fuck up your algorithm too, because it's going to see, one, you're going to get shadow banned because you like it can tell that you're just doing that, so it's going to show you to less accounts, and it's going to show you to less attractive people, because it kind of like, the algorithm is scarily accurate. It's going to figure out what kind of girls you like and what kind of girls you're swiping right on, and then it's just going to keep showing you more of those girls because it wants you to be on the app longer. So if you keep swiping right on every single person, then it's just going to start showing you women that you're not attracted to, and you're just going to start get shadow banned and just match with people that you don't even want to meet up with in the first place. That's how to make a banging Tinder profile. If you want some help with looks, Maxine, check out my course and link in the description below. That being said, remember, be better than you were yesterday.